Hi, my name is Stacy and I'm from Tennessee. So basically, I was just sitting in my living room watching my phone, and I had my AirPods in because, I didn't feel like annoying my mom and getting yelled at because I didn't have my AirPods in. So then all of a sudden my AirPods die. And it starts playing without the AirPods, and my mom yells at me. And I'm like, sorry, my AirPods died. And she was like, okay, then go plug them in and play something, because I don't feel like listening to your crusty, musty, dusty, rusty, lusty phone. So I'm like, whatever. You're so annoying, Mom. And basically, so annoying, right? Well, she didn't think that it was funny that I said that she was annoying because I called my friend and I was like, my mom is so annoying. And she came in here in my room and was like, did you just call me annoying? And I was like, no, that was my friend talking. And she was like, no, it wasn't. I heard you. And I was like, because you are, okay? You are annoying. You literally don't want me out in the living room because my AirPods died. And you're yelling at me because I called you annoying. Because you were being annoying. Like, excuse me? And she was like, no, don't excuse me. I should be the one excusing you. And I was like, okay, then do it. Go ahead. Excuse me. And she was like, you know what? I'm done. I'm done with you. And I was like, exactly. You would never excuse me. So, obviously, I was mad at her and didn't talk to her. So, hold on, I'll be right back. My mother is calling me. Sorry, guys. She just wanted me to help her get something because she has a really bad migraine. And yeah. So, back to the story anyways. This was like 2 weeks ago. And she was so mad at me that she locked my door and didn't let me come out of my room. Because, the lock where you lock it was outside in the hallway instead of in my room. And basically, I was like, ugh, I hate you, Mom. I mumbled it when the door was locked and closed and she couldn't hear me. And somehow she heard me and was like, that means if you hate me, that means that if you say that you hate me one more time, you get another 2 hours with your door locked. And I was like, I hate you, 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 I hate you. And she was like, that is 8 hours more in your bedroom. And I was like, I don't care because I hate you so much and I never want to see you. And she was like, 10 hours. Now you have 12 hours in your bedroom the whole day. And it was like 7 in the morning. So the whole day I was stuck in my freaking room. And remember, I'm from Tennessee. Normally, your mom is nice in Tennessee. Well, my mom, she's from Africa. So she got yelled at when she was a kid a lot. And she doesn't know what it feels like not to get yelled at. Because when my dad is home, I'll do something wrong or I'll say like something bad or I say, I hate you. And he doesn't say anything because he grew up with him saying all that stuff to his parents when you get mad at your parents or something. So he didn't get mad at me, and I was like, how come you don't act like more like dad? How come you don't act more like dad? And she was like, what do you mean? He acts exactly like me. And I was like, not when it's just us two. He lets me say and do whatever I want. I wish you were more like dad. And she was like, oh, okay, then you can go live with him. And I was like, what do you mean? And she was like, did he not tell you that me and him are getting a divorce? And I was like, no, he didn't, but I would rather live with him instead of getting yelled at every day. And she was like, he's probably going to start yelling at you because we're getting a divorce and he's not going to know what to do. So he's probably going to yell at you. And I was like, no, he won't. He's too good of a person for that. And she was like, oh, really? I'm not a good person? And I was like, no, you're not. Because you're rude to me. Not to him. Well, you weren't rude to him. But you're rude to me. And she was my stepmom. My real mom died, and it was sad. But she's my stepmom, and she hates me so much. And she was like, you don't know what it feels like to get yelled at Africa or get yelled at because I married a white man. Literally, that's what she said. And I promise, if you're black, I'm not making fun of you. I promise you. I promise you. I don't care what kind of skin tone you are. I promise. Promise you. Okay, back to the story. And I was like, I don't care what it felt like. I'm not from where you are. I'm from Tennessee. So don't bother me on asking if I know how it feels like. Because I do. Because you're the one acting like I'm from Africa and I know everything about it. And she's like, she got so mad at me that she was like, that's it. You're moving away before me and your dad get a divorce. And I was like, where do you want me to stay then, huh? You want me to live with a pigeon? And she was like, no, I want you to get run over by a car. Obviously, you're not moving out. And I was like, I wish I was moving out, and I wish that I lived with a pigeon or my father, not you, crusty, musty, dusty, lusty lady. And she was like, excuse me? And I was like, oh, my AirPods are charged. I'm going to put them in so I can't hear you. And she was like, good. And I was like, whatever. And I opened the door somehow, even though it's locked, because like I had a little pick. So I picked it and then opened my door very quietly and then slammed it. And she was like, I'm finished. And she was like, excuse you? Who do you think you're talking to? And I was like, you're crusty, musty, dusty, rusty, and lusty. And she was like, that's it. Get out of my house and never come back. And I was like, first off, this is not your house. It's actually Dad's house. And no, I'm not getting out of my own house because when my dad said that it was me and his house, not your house, and he hates you. And she was like, he does not. And I was like, come in my room. I'll call him right now and ask him, and he won't know if you're in the room or not. So she's like, fine. And she unlocks the door and is like, call him. And she stays super quiet, and she's actually scared to see if he hates her or not. And I'm like, hey, Dad, do you hate my stepmom? And he was like, yes, so much. She is so rude to you and so annoying. And I was like, oh, okay, thanks. I gotta go eat dinner. Bye, love you. And she was like, ugh, I hate him. And I was like, good. You guys are getting a divorce. And I loved my dad so much, but I hated my stepmom so very much that it was almost to the point that I actually kind of loved her. Like, that's how much I hated her. And we hated each other so much, but I knew deep down inside of her, she actually loved me somehow. And she knew that too, that somewhere deep down inside of her, that she loved me somehow. And she was like, whatever, I'm going to cook dinner. And I was like, you still haven't started dinner? And she was like, no, we've been fighting, Miss Girl. And I was like, who do you think you're calling Miss Girl? Who do you think you're calling Miss Girl? I should be the one calling you Miss Girl. Or girl. She didn't know what girl meant. That's how stupid she was. And she was like, no, you aren't. You will never call me Miss Girl. Ever in your life. And I was like, oh, huh? What are you going to do about it, Miss Girl? And she was like, excuse me? You do not call me Miss Girl. And I was like, why not? You call me Miss Girl. And you hate me. Miss Girl means you love her. And my stepmom was like, oh, so you love me. And I was like, no, I was making you annoyed. And she was like, oh, great, just more bratty stuff to tell your father. And I was like, he's not ever going to believe you. Because when I'm with him, I am way too good of a child. But when I'm with you, I'll be as bad as I want. And she's like, maybe I'll turn into your dad one day. And I was like, ew, no, I wish you never do. And all of a sudden, the door opened. Like, not my door, the house door. Or the apartment door. And I got so scared because my father was home. We forgot that he was getting home this early. Guys, I'm trying to activate my slime. That's what I'm putting in. So, yeah. Activator. Because, yeah. I mean, it's kind of activated, but anyways. And I was like, oh, frick. And she was like, did you almost say the F word? And I was like, no. And she was like, oh, so you have a stutter. I hate kids and always will that have a stutter. And I was like, you know what? F word you. And she was like, excuse you. And my dad came running in and was like, who are you saying excuse you to? You ugly, crusty, musty, dusty, rusty lady. Who are you? My daughter? No, I don't think so. I am so glad that we are getting a divorce. Part 2 is coming.